Hello, CJ here to bring you another quick movie review, this time of Boruto, also known as Boruto Naruto the movie, also known as Naruto Part 7, here we go again, Electric Boogaloo, this time it's Boruto. It's Boruto Naruto the movie. It's quite a title there, Biz, but whatever. Anyway, it was pretty exciting to see this movie. I was just chilling out last night, and I saw a tweet from Viz Media. They were like, hey, Boruto is still playing in theaters. You can go check it out at these locations. And sure enough, I had no idea this was going on. The theater in my town was playing it, though, for one final night. So I was like, okay, I'll go check it out for you guys, see how it is, and give you guys my quick review of it. As far as the story goes, spoiler-free, by the way. I'm doing this spoiler-free. I will put a little note as to when spoilers begin, so you guys can skip ahead in the video to hear about what I thought of the audience reception of this movie, because it is quite... I do have a lot of things to say about the audience in my theater. But as far as the story goes, it is about Naruto's son and his friends, Sarada and Mitsuki, I think his name is. In fact, let me check real quick what that guy's name is. Yes, it is Mitsuki. And it's kind of more about like the relationship between Naruto and his son Boruto. Fans of the series are really, really going to like this movie. There's a lot of cameos. There's a lot of in-jokes. It's really, really cool. I really enjoyed it, surprisingly enough. In fact, I haven't really talked about it that much on this channel, but I'm not the biggest Naruto fan. When I was younger, when I was in junior high, so oh my gosh, more than 10 years ago now, I started Naruto. I absolutely loved it. In fact, to this day, I still really enjoy Part 1. Part 2, also known as Shippuden, is not that great to me. It's just personally. I didn't really like the end. I didn't like how Sakura basically dropped off the map as an important character. I didn't really like the character of Sasuke that much. I could honestly go on, but that's not what we're here for. What I can say, though, is that this movie was really great. It completely blew away my expectations. I went in as a Sasuke hater, and I came out as a Sasuke lover. I mean, this totally changed my mind about Sasuke. It's so hard to explain without going into spoilers, but Sasuke has a very important role in this movie. And, I mean, just from the first scene he's in, he completely just owns the show. I mean, it's just amazing to see how much character development Sasuke's had since the end of Naruto. I mean, I was just so impressed. I've heard that Kishimoto wrote this movie, so really kudos to him. I think it shows... I think it's a testament to the fact that he was able to take a break after finishing Naruto to really cool down and really give this movie the life it needed. Honestly, to go into the movie, you don't really need to know that much about Naruto. You can be like me, who I finished the series right when it ended, and I haven't seen really much of it since, except for the Sarada story. You can go in pretty fresh. I have a feeling that someone who has only seen part 1 of Naruto actually wouldn't be that lost, with the exception of one part, which I will get to soon. If I were to complain about anything, again, spoilers free, I would have liked to see more of other characters. We got a lot of Naruto, we got a lot of Sasuke, we got a lot of Boruto, we got a little bit from Sarada and Mitsuki, which are his teammates, but there were some characters who desperately needed that screen time. Himawari, who is Boruto's younger sister, and currently, I think one of the only, Byakugan users, she didn't get anything. She basically was there for Boruto to kind of have, a character to get upset about when things went wrong. And then, there's one scene, and again, spoiler-free, I'll talk about it later, that I was, I felt like screaming at the screen, why isn't Rock Lee here? It was so unnerving. It was just so unbelievably unnerving that he wasn't there. And then, so other than that, I would say stick around for the credits. There is an after-credit scene, and it clears up some information about a character who really didn't have that much information about him said in the movie, which I really wish they would have included that information in the movie, because it really is interesting. And, I mean, honestly, at this point, I would say that Naruto isn't over. I know they say, oh, Boruto's going to be the last thing of Naruto, but there's so much character development that could be had between Boruto and his friends. I don't think this is the last we're going to see of it. That's just my own opinion, though, so just take that with a grain of salt. All right, and time for spoilers. Please skip to this timestamp if you don't want to be spoiled for the movie. I'm going to go pretty deep into it. All right, so starting off, is Killer Bee dead? I think Killer Bee is dead. Oh my gosh. Everyone in my theater was like, did they just kill Killer Bee? Yeah, they did. Oh my gosh. It was like literally the villains were like, hey, there's Killer Bee. Let's kill him. I just like, it was out of nowhere. And the movie didn't really take the time to pause and like consider the impact of his death. I was like, whoa, okay, I guess he's gone, whatever. And then, so Mitsuki is Orochimaru's son, which is really cool. I've always loved Orochimaru. I think he's like one of the best parts of Naruto. He's a really great villain. But like, why did we only get this information until after the credits? Like, it makes sense in retrospect, don't get me wrong. Like, the whole thing with him stretching his arm like Luffy and stuff, like, I mean, it would have been a real giveaway if he would have stretched his tongue out. I would have been like, oh, yep, Orochimaru's son. Maybe it was supposed to be implied. Maybe I should have picked up on it a little beforehand, but, yeah, I was a little bit disappointed by that. Whatever. The story between Naruto and his dad Boruto was actually handled very well. Both of the characters, basically what happens is, Naruto ends up finding out that he doesn't really have enough time for his family. His role as Hokage basically takes over his family life, and he doesn't have enough time to be with Boruto or the rest of his family. So Boruto gets really upset about this. He gets just really, really upset about this, and it leads to a conflict where he gets caught up with these ninja scientists who are making these like wrist devices that like launch different kinds of ninjutsu out of them. Basically, like if I was to make a Rasengan, I could put the Rasengan into like a scroll that would then go into the device that could shoot my Rasengan out. And literally anyone could do it. Which, by the way, there's a huge plot hole because they're like, oh, it doesn't take any of your chakra at all. Well, excuse me. But so Boruto later in the movie uses Kagebushin no Jutsu, or Shadow Clone Jutsu, and in order to use that, wouldn't, like, the jutsu need to, like, have at least some of your chakra so that it could produce clones of you? That did not make any sense, but whatever. Minor, very, very minor nitpick. That plot was a little meh. It felt really forced, especially when the villains came in. Basically, they were like Kaguya's like step cousins or something. I did not get who these guys were. They basically were like, we've come to finish what Kaguya started, and we're gonna kill all the tail beasts. Which, by the way, why didn't they kill Gaara? Or at least acknowledge his presence. Like, it would have been one thing if they were like, we're not gonna go over the desert, because that guy is pretty weak, so we're gonna go for the Nine-Tail first, just get that over with. I would have been like, okay, that makes sense. But literally, Gaara is, like, right there when they show up, and they're just like, who's that? I don't know. Oh, there's Naruto, let's kill him! Like, I mean, it just, that was something I was, like, a little bit concerned about. But anyway, so that doesn't really matter. They were pretty weak, too. Their whole motif was like, you know, you pathetic humans you need to train in order to get better. We just take whatever we want and we get powerful that way. And, like, that was kind of, like, tying into the whole, like, ninja scientist thing. And, like, you know, Naruto's and the other older characters, how do I put this the right way? Their drive to basically say that, like, a true ninja is one who, like, inspires others by gaining power for himself, you know, like, who comes with these jutsus by themselves, which I gotta admit, again, Sasuke, 10 out of 10, best character. He was so great. He basically trains Boruto throughout the entire movie. He notices that Boruto is upset with his dad's absence, and he notices that Boruto's Rasengan works differently than Naruto's, than any other Rasengan he's ever seen. So basically, the Rasengan, disappears and then reappears right at the end, and they use that to trick the bad guy into, basically getting confused. So instead of sucking up the Rasengan like he thought he would, the Rasengan disappears, and then reappears and hits him instead. So I thought that was very creative. The final, oh my gosh, the final thing where Boruto's, has the giant Rasengan made by the power of him and his dad. It was okay. Yeah, here we go. Alright, whatever. It felt like big, bad anime climax. Bad anime movie climax, I mean. whatever. It was okay. I mean, my friend Kai read a really funny review that, like, one of the negative aspects that this reviewer thought of this movie was that it had character development, but the character development was interrupted by, like, world-shaking, like, conflict. I would somewhat agree with that. Like, it felt a little forced that they tagged along Boruto with the 5 Kages when they went to fight the big bad. But, I mean, for what it was worth, I mean, I don't know how you could possibly top Kaguya at the end of Naruto. Like, I personally didn't like the Kaguya arc, but I even have to admit that, like, you know, that's pretty much the most powerful you can get in Naruto without just completely blowing up the earth by blinking. Sarada is awesome. She needs her own series. She was one of the best characters in the whole movie. I really liked the message at the end that the path to Hokage is not a goal, it is a path. It is just a way of life. I thought that was very positive, especially after the whole, like, I want to be Hokage that we've heard all throughout Naruto. I thought it was very, very refreshing to have a character, especially, like, you know, especially Boruto, to say, hey, you know, being Hokage isn't my end goal. You know, it probably will never be, and that's okay. That's just as okay as me wanting to be Hokage. I thought that was great. Another little spoiler thing, Tenten was in this movie. She appeared in, like, one scene, which I thought was pretty funny. Like, Tenten had a more important speaking role than Rock Lee, of all people. And she couldn't even notice that Naruto was using a different kind of weapon. I thought that was very interesting. I'm like, oh, Tenten, the weapons master, you didn't notice that? And then, Rock Lee wasn't in the finale, which I found to be very upsetting, considering Rock Lee is a taijutsu master, and everyone went in to the finale knowing that they probably were only going to be using taijutsu. Why did they not send Rock Lee in? Like, what? Like, golden opportunity missed. Like, jeez, that made no sense. But anyway, let's go spoilers off. That's all I have to say about that. This movie was rated G, which is really weird. I would take a 3-year-old to see this. Like, there's, like, no fan service, no violence. Of course there is violence, it's Naruto, but there's no blood. Like, it's very minimal. I was very shocked by that. But whatever, you know, I think it's great, especially considering most people in America, at least, who read Naruto, I mean, I don't know about other countries, but I'm a substitute teacher, and my kids read Naruto all the time, and they are very young and very impressionable. So I thought that the G rating of this movie was actually a positive thing, and it did not hinder at all the quality of the story. So that was pretty cool. And then, finally, I can talk about the audience of this movie. Okay. Guys, let me be very clear with you. If you are going to see a movie in theaters, do not talk during the movie. It was horrendous. I mean, it's just inexcusable. I don't care how excited you get for these kind of things. Don't talk during movies. Like, I don't care if you've been a Naruto fan for 15 years or 15 minutes. It does not matter. Do not talk, please. I mean, it's bad enough. We anime fans have a bad enough reputation as it is. Don't talk in theaters. That's rude, alright? Don't do that. My whole theater, they talked the entire time. There was probably not a scene where someone had to make a comment about something to one of their friends, and it was just very rude and very disrespectful. So, and another thing, this is a nitpick as far as the theater goes. Our subtitles were slightly cut off. Like, it was like, you could barely see them, like, just peeking over the black part of the screen. I thought that was very odd. And it was very clear that this was being played off of some kind of DVD too, because there was, like, a menu where it said, like, Boruto, Naruto the movie, and then, like, play. And I was like, really? Like, okay, whatever. It was very informal. But, you know, overall, I had a really great time. I would definitely recommend this movie to Naruto fans. It was fantastic. It's probably the best finale you guys could hope for. I mean, seriously, it was that good. I really, really enjoyed it. Until next time, this is CJ, signing off.